And good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1251. Happy Sunday as we wheel out the weekend. Today's a big day. Today is a big day. Earlier this week, I mentioned that I was canceling my subscription to DealerNet, which I did, and I was going to subscribe to Twitter. I said a while back, I'm not giving Elon any of my money. Hey, things change. We evolve. Our thoughts and opinions, and strategies, they all evolve. And I paid for Twitter. So one of the reasons I kind of wanted to pay for Twitter was I do see some benefits. Twitter's been like my number one social media platform since 2009. So I felt, and my wife has even mentioned since the subscription for Twitter came out, my wife's like, I can't believe you don't subscribe. Like you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I don't find value in it. But I do now. One of those benefits that I found valuable in a subscription to Twitter was the ability to stream live. And that was you could do that for free up until a few weeks ago, up until about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. I think I was in Europe when hoodie is warm. I love it. About 6 weeks, I think, when I was in Europe. And then all of a sudden, the first episode back, it's like, you're unable to stream live to Twitter. You need to subscribe to the premium. And I'm like, well, F that. I'm not doing that. We evolve even in the matter of a few weeks. I'm like, I'll just move this money around the budget for DealerNet. I haven't used it in like over a year. It was like the original street when I subscribed to StreamYard for a year and used it once a month. But I use that every day now. We're on StreamYard every day. So I'm getting my money's worth out of that, getting my money's worth, hopefully, out of the blue check mark. So I think I subscribed to Twitter. They took my money, of course. Twitter took my money right away. And also Twitter, unlike if you subscribe to an eBay store, they bill you monthly. Twitter wants all of your money up front. So like you subscribe for a year at a monthly rate, but you're paying, it was like 200 some bucks, which is still less than what I was paying for. I think I was paying, what was I need a calculator. Remember when teacher said, you're not always going to have a calculator on you? Well, haha, joke's on you, Mrs. Hebner. 12 times 29. Yeah. So I was paying $348 a year on my DealerNet subscription, which I haven't used in probably a year. And I think my Twitter subscription was $250 save. So save a little bit of money. So, but they took my money but they didn't give me a blue check mark right away. And so, without the blue check mark, apparently that's like, even though they took my money and I'm a premium subscriber, apparently the benefits don't kick in until you go through that review process. And so the last few days, I've tried to stream live to Twitter from StreamYard, and it's like, oh, you need a premium subscription. I'm like, I have one. I paid the money. I got receipts. They're like, nope, fuck you, peon. So today, when I hit stream, hit go live, I got Twitter up there. I got no message. I'm like, hey, I checked. I've got the blue check mark, bought and paid for. Passed the review. So here we go. So, hey, if you're watching on Twitter, and I do see we have an uptick on viewers in our StreamYard count, because when it's on YouTube only, my viewers are like way down on the live. But we've got an uptick. So it looks like we've got some Twitter viewers. So shout out if you're on Twitter. Sometimes the Twitter comments don't show up in my feed, in my chat feed. So I apologize if you're on Twitter, you're trying to type in a chat. I apologize if I don't see it. I'll get to the chat here in a moment. Today, I want to talk about finding good bulk deals and Basically trying to weed out the garbage, because there's a lot of garbage when you're shopping for baseball cards, whether it be Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or any other online platform. There's a lot of just junk. And there's a lot of overpriced junk. Sometimes it's overpriced junk. Sometimes it's just junk at a good price, but you don't want it. So I'm gonna share some tips based on some real world, based on a real world experience last night. Now, I don't know if it's a good deal or not, but based on some of the signs that I got through the ad itself and through communication, I decided it's not worth my time. And I'm going to show you those signs, what to look for, and what stand out as red flags. Hey, shop my eBay store. My 50% off sale continues through today. So it's I guess I should have looked to double check before I keep talking. Oh, it ends today. It ends today. Sound like a freaking furniture salesman. It's the Columbus Day sale. We're going out of business. Freaking every furniture store has gone out of business like 3 times a year. We're going out of business. Come save. Like, what the fuck? How come furniture companies are the only ones that do that? And they get away with it, I guess, because they can. I don't know. So the 50% off sale, I double checked. It does end tonight, and it's August 18th. I was thinking, since I set it up, and I kept thinking, well, I set it up to end at 1:30 a.m., but it's eBay time, which is 11:30 p.m. So when it said August 18th, I was thinking Central Time 1:30 or 11:30, but it's Pacific time. So it's actually August. If you're in Central Time, it's August 19th when it ends, which is like 1:30 in the morning. Or if you're on the West Coast, 11:30 p.m. tonight. So you can still save 50% store-wide on items under $20. So everything priced under $20 is eligible. When you buy 10 or more items in my eBay store, 99centcards.com, there is a coupon code. It's end of summer 50, end of summer 50. So, and that coupon code pops up when you're in my eBay store on the items as well. So that sale goes through today, through tonight, ends at 11:30 p.m. Pacific time, 1:30 a.m. tomorrow morning Central Time. 50% off 10 or more items under $20. Check it out. Was busy shipping yesterday, did a lot of sorting. I feel like this weekend's been very productive. I was going to make this the kind of the topic of the day, but I'm just going to kind of intertwine it with the main topic of sniffing out bulk deals. But I feel so good. I feel so good. And part of the reason is I haven't done a damn thing this weekend except work. Maybe that's why I've been so productive. I'm working 16 hours a day. Man, I got a lot done today. Well, shit, I started work at 6 a.m. and I was still going at 9 p.m. No wonder I got a lot done. I didn't do anything else. What did I? Went to the post office yesterday. That's it. Took Ernie to go potty a few times. That's it. That's it. No wonder I got a lot done yesterday. I didn't freaking leave the house. My wife goes, so what do you have going on today? And I'm like, or she goes, do you have anything going on today? And I said, oh yeah, I've got a lot of work to do. And she goes, I mean, besides work. And I'm like, oh no, no, I have nothing going on today. I am doing nothing except work. But I was very productive. Got a lot of shipping going. Still, my shipping is slower because I'm running this 50% off sale. So it's a lot of volume orders. So I think I have 86 orders awaiting shipment. Now, normally that's like a piece of cake and I can get through that in an hour and a half, 2 hours. But most of these orders, because usually it's 80% of my orders are single card orders. Now, out of those 86 orders, 80 to 90% are multi-card orders. So based on my sale going on. 50% off, 10 or more items, priced under $20, 99centcards.com. So did a lot of shipping, did a lot of sorting. I'm trying to, the goal is to get my shipping room cleaned up. But I don't want to just move boxes around to move boxes around, because that's just putting a Band-Aid on a freaking hole in the boat. I can't think of a better analogy. My brain's not working yet. So like if I start going through, I can pull cards, I can set them aside for a couple of different customers that have, their players they're searching for. I can do that. I can strip cards that I'm going to put on eBay, because I've got so many boxes that I haven't gone through yet, whether it be from the Goodwill palette or just some of the bulk sales. Hell, I haven't even put many items up in my eBay store from last week's Janesville card show. So got a lot of stuff just piling up. It's like, well, and I'm running out of space. Actually, I'm not running out of space. I have run out of space. So next up is, okay, this is all sorted. Everything has found its place. This is going to this person. This is going to that person. This is going to eBay. The rest is bulk. It's going to Facebook Marketplace. It's going to Craigslist. And we're going to try to dump off another truckload of bulk. So I was busy doing that yesterday as well. And I did some listing. I wanted to get some lots up. Some of my player runs are building. I put another Michael Jordan lot up. This is probably the best. This will be the last of the Jordan lots until I get some more. I have probably 10 or 20 more singles. But this is probably the best 50 card lot. Not the best 50 cards of the lots I've put up for sale, but this is probably the best lot in terms of resale value. And I did price it accordingly. The previous lots I've priced at $130 or best offer. This one I priced at $150 or best offer. There's, I think, 3 Washington Wizards Michael Jordan cards, which hold a little bit of a premium. There's a lot of Broders, which I know some people poo-poo on the Broders, the unlicensed stuff from the late 80s, early 90s, but that stuff actually holds a premium over some of the other mainstream Fleer Skybox Hoops cards. So Jordan lot is up. Derek Jeter is a player that I usually pull, but I wanted to see what I can get in lot form. The Goodwill palette had the most recent Goodwill palette had a ton of Jeter era cards, sets. So had a whole stack. So I think there's a 25 card, all different cards of Derek Jeter. And then there's a Bobby Witt Jr., which is might be a 50 card lot of Bobby Witt Jr. Maybe it is 25. I think it is 25 of Bobby Witt Jr. And there's a couple rookie cards of Bobby Witt Jr. in there as well. So those lots are up. I started listing the 1955 tops that was part of a deal I bought last week. So some of those singles are up. And then I listed some random archives fan favorites from like the early 2000s. Holy shit, man. There were about 5 refractors from 2003 archives fan favorites, including a Bo Jackson. There's like no comp. There's none listed on eBay. There's no comps. And I'm like, $20. Oops. Probably should have priced that higher. It's sold in minutes without a best offer coming in. I'm like, oh well. Chris Sabo sold for $10. No offers. And then I sold a Steve Sachs, maybe. Somebody offered me $8 or maybe $6 or $7, and I countered at $9. They countered at $8, and I'm like, okay, we're not playing this game. $9. If he counters again, I'm declining. They accepted the offer at $9. I was happy selling a Steve Sachs card for $9. What else was put up? I think that was about it. But also in the Goodwill palette, because I haven't gone through these, I I had the Janesville show going into last week, and so I was just unloading boxes of the cards that were in that pallet, and was going through some of these boxes. There was a 2005. Is it 2005? I can look right here. It is 2005 Topps football, and I'm pulling cards out of it, and I find Aaron Rodgers rookie card. Really nice condition, near mint. So I'm going through. I find another Aaron Rodgers rookie card. So I put one up for $40, sold it full price right away. I'm like, damn. I had like a run in my eBay store last night. The Jackson, the Sacks, the Sabo, the Aaron Rodgers rookie all sold, boom, 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 within like a 30-minute period. So it's like, hey, all right, let's list some more. Let's sell some more. 99centcards.com. Nick Examine Baseball wants to know, what is the Steve Sachs? It's from 2003 Archives Fan Favorites. It's the Refractor, numbered out of 299. And there's not too many of these refractors listed on eBay. There's the Bo Jackson sold for $20, which I think I underpriced. Somebody's got a Mike Schmidt listed on eBay for $30. There's a Don Sutton listed for $9.99 plus shipping. There's a Tommy Lasorda listed for $9.99 free shipping. Bob Feller $9.97 plus shipping. There's a Brett Saberhagen listed for $29.99 plus shipping. So 2003 all-time favorites, all-time fan favorites. 2003 Topps all-time fan favorites refractors, and they're numbered out of 299. Steve Sachs, the poor man's Garvey. So those are some of the things that I was listing yesterday and last night on my in my eBay store. Auctions. We did the auctions. I did 10-day auctions that ended this past Tuesday. Had fun with that. Gonna do it again. And I'm going to curate. We're gonna get item specific, not item specific, but sport specific, or that type of deal. We're getting into football season. We're gonna go football only on my eBay auctions this coming Tuesday when they start. So they're gonna start on Tuesday night, and we're gonna run 7-day auctions. I'm gonna throw the other Aaron Rodgers rookie at auction. I've got a Jordan Love rare kind of a short print type card that's already in my eBay store at Buy It Now. So if that doesn't sell in the next couple of nights, that's going to auction. What else do I have? I'll find some other. I've got some early Tom Brady stuff, like second, third-year cards we'll throw up. What else do I have? I'll look through my eBay store to see if I have any higher end for me, which I kind of find higher end in like the $20 range. $10, $20 range is higher end when I'm selling low end in volume. What's this? Let's read this comment. Zach and Porter says, from the other room, quote, I thought Bo hates auctions, so why is he doing them? Zach and Porter says he's not wrong. Porter is saying that from the other room. I do hate auctions. I think auctions are terrible, but if done right, I think you can. Now, would I put a Bowman Chrome auto of some random prospect, which I did last time? No, you're going to sell those for 99 cents or $2, $3. They're going to sell for under comps. But if it's stale inventory, we're going to move them. And that was kind of the plan. The previous auctions I ran, it was stuff that I had White Sox fans over here, Zach and Porter. Jared Kelly, there was a numbered out of 25 auto. There was a numbered out of 25 insert from Bowman Chrome. The Bowman Chrome sold for 99 cents, and the person didn't pay. So it's actually at auction again. The person who bought the gold person who was the high bidder on the Ryan McMahon gold mirror did not pay. It's back at auction. What else? There was something else that didn't sell. So 3 So I ran 74 auctions last week. All 74 had high bids, had bids, and 3 of 74 were not paid for. So that was the statistics. And overall, I was satisfied from a general macro viewpoint of my most recent auctions. I was satisfied. I wasn't like that was awesome, but I wasn't like this is terrible, because there were a few items, and in fact, the McMahon was a card that, of course, it didn't pay. We'll see what round 2 brings, but that was a card that sold, that was high bid, a little higher than I thought. I thought it would sell in the 5 to 10 range, and I think it went around like 9 something, which was maybe a couple bucks more than I expected. And that was all, the items, and I talked about this Tuesday and Wednesday, the items that sold that sold for higher than I expected, it was only a couple bucks higher. The items that sold for lower, only a couple bucks lower than what I expected. So John Keating very eloquently said, it's just like taxes. It all ends up the same, or whatever. It all equals out at the end. And that's kind of how I felt with the eBay auction. So we'll run it back. We'll fire these auctions up on Tuesday night. We will stagger them so it brings better theater when we do a YouTube live the following Tuesday when the auctions are ending. So it's not all how many ever auctions. It was 74 last time, end at the exact same time. We'll stagger them about a minute, 2 minutes apart, because some I'll be listing, I'll be couch listing. And then some will be listed from eBay. So I may go back and forth, may have my laptop up. Okay, this is going to be an eBay. Just go from buy it now to auction. Here's one that's just couch listing. So next couple days, I'd like to get to 50 auctions just to provide a nice mix of cards of volume. So there may be some doing 50 auctions if I can get them timed within a minute to 2, because I don't want to have like a 2-hour. I want to keep it to like 90 minutes, between an hour and an hour and a half of these auctions ending. So if I can get them a minute apart, and I can probably do that if I have everything ready, and if I can do, eBay, I can get pretty close to that. Maybe it's not exactly, if I do 50, maybe it's not exactly, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, but if I can get it under 90 minutes, that's the goal. So we'll do that. Let's see. Let's kind of keep on this topic with some of the comments before we go back to the top. Zach and Porter says maybe that Bow refractor should have been at auction. I think that would have been, you're right, that would have been a perfect auction card. Because obviously there was interest right off the bat. Now the key is having at least two people interested. If it's just one person, but I think Bo Jackson has enough people. That's a rare enough card, even though it's numbered to 299. It's from 20 years ago. I think that would have been a great card to auction. Now I know. Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. Where are we at? There was another one that I wanted to get to, and then we'll go back to the top. Donald says, would you do a YouTube live sale for the bulk you were trying to sell? So the truckload, no. The truckload, no, because it's going to be mostly commons. So it's cherry picked. You're paying for bulk. It's a local deal. So if you come up to Madison, we can make a deal, but it's not something that can be shipped, and it's not something I'm going to deliver. And it's mostly commons. Will I do another YouTube live sale for bulk? Yes. Not what I was just talking about, but I'll do another, okay, I've got a bunch of soccer with color and stuff. Maybe I'll do something like that. Baseball, refractors, non-sport was popular. So once we get out of August for sure, maybe probably through September, maybe a fall type deal where we do YouTube live. It just kind of depends on where I'm at. I was thinking of doing something like that for some of the late 70s baseball partial sets, starter sets for some of the late 70s stuff I have, because I haven't listed a lot of that from the estate sale. All the football and basketball has been listed. Although I do have some football, basketball that I put in dollar boxes, I may do something with football and basketball. If I have enough 75, 76 tops left over, we'll do a partial set auction on YouTube. Back to the top, we've got Uncle Rich in the house. Good morning to you. Mr. Archer is here. Good morning. Philly Joe's in the house. Happy Sunday. Dan loves the hoodie. It's a Korean cardboard hoodie. How about it? Yeah. Card Safari's in the house. What's going on? Dan says, wish it was hoodie weather here. It is. It's probably not hoodie weather here. It's cooler. It's definitely cooler. It's 67 right now, which is comfortable hoodie weather, but it's going to be 80. So later today, I'm going to have to shed the hoodie. But if I go outside, if I want to go outside, sit on the deck with a coffee, it's hoodie weather. But this afternoon, it will not be hoodie weather, although it's going to cool off. Well, oh shit. So it's going to cool off and be in the mid 70s this week. But then by the weekend, we're going to be in the mid 80s to 90 next Sunday. So hoodie weather one day, freaking hot the next. So there you go. That's August in the Midwest. Art Green, good morning. Hit the mother load on a bulk buy on Facebook Marketplace this week. 40,000 cards for $400, mostly star players with some higher end stuff like a Ripken rookie. That's what we're going for. That is what we're looking for. How do we find it? That's kind of the topic today. We got to weed through a lot of garbage, though. Won't be wanting for cards to list for quite some time. That's good. That's good. That's kind of the point you want to be, especially this is a perfect example of, as volume sellers or sellers, where you want to be. You want to find 40,000 cards for $400 with liquid inventory, like a Ripken rookie, like stuff that can get you back to break even and then into the profit. And you still got 39,000 cards to go, which is also fairly liquid stuff. That's what we're always looking for. Try to get the most bang for our buck. Todd, good morning. Took my daughter to her first card show yesterday. She loved it and bought more than me. All right, Todd, good job. Love it. Brian, good morning. He's headed to Casey's for pizza. I'll catch up later. Cheers to Brian. Dan wants to know 1982 Topps Ripken. That's the priciest one. Johnny M's in the house. Good morning. So what I'm hearing is that sales were down a bit and you figured Twitter was the reason why. Not at all. Not at all. No. Sales are actually, I am on pace to have, let's see. Where's my Google? Oh, wrong Google sheet. In fact, let's go to the rankings here. Okay, yeah, this is the tab I need. So I'm looking at my sales in just a moment. Now I'm in my sales. All right, I need to get this down to year, all the way back to 2021 on this one sheet. Okay, 2020. Am I at 2024 yet? There we go. All right, so let me write these numbers down. I'm not going to share my numbers, but I'll share the rankings. All right. All right. So I think August is going to be very close to my number one month for 2024. Let's see. It's gonna be tight with April. It's gonna be a close one with April. May is also up there. Oh shit, June was up there. Last few months have been amazing for sales. July, despite being away for 2 weeks, is my just barely beat February. Was my, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So July was my fourth highest sales month, despite being in Europe for 2 weeks. Let's see. August, I got to add a couple numbers into August. And then we'll run the numbers. I think August is going to end up being my best month so far of 2024. let's see. Of course, we got to go back and I've got to net it all out and see what my expenses were, which I won't know until the end of the month. Let's see. But did I buy? I don't think I bought much in August so far. Spent some money last weekend, but let's see. And we do this. We're 18 days in. All right, so we're 18 days in. Let's run the numbers. Right now, I am very close. So if the numbers stay what my current daily average is as of today, if my numbers stay the same, August will rank second for 2024 behind April. So currently my net sales, so it's probably going to come in second, potentially third. I just need to compare to June would be the second highest month. So net sales by month, year to date, number 1 is April. Number 2 is June. Number 3 is May. Number 4 is July. Number 5 is February. Number 6 is January. Number 7 is March, which is kind of odd. I'd have to go look and look the last couple years. And August is definitely going to be top 3 when it's all said and done. I don't think the trend will continue as is for the rest of the month based on there's been a nice uptick because of my 50% off sale. That's drawn a lot of volume sales. So, but we'll see. If I sell some big cards, I've got a Dr. J rookie, PSA 5 in my eBay store. If I sell some lots, if the Peyton comes back high and that sells. So with 2 weeks to go, that could, depending on what sells, could still sway. August could still end up ranking number 1. Uncle Rich says, at work and discovering there are variations in, wait for it, numbering Michael Jackson stickers. Interesting. I actually have one set remaining. I bought one of my dealers had a non-sport box, a couple of them. And at the end of the show, he goes, hey, do you want these? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, you can have them for free. And it's like a 5-row box of non-sport. And I'm like, for free? I'm like, I'm not going to take them for nothing. I'm like, can I give you, I'll buy them for $20. And he's like, yeah, I'll take $20. I'm like, all right. And there were multiple Michael Jackson sets. I think 6 total. There were 3 of the pinks and 3 of the greens. And I've sold 5 of the 6. And I think they each sold for $20. So sometimes those buys just land in your lap. And there was some other stuff. I don't think I ended up selling anything else from it. Like I didn't list it. I just don't like listing non-sport unless it's like promos or stuff that's easily listed. I do list non-sport, but it's not something I typically do. I put some of the stuff. I think there was some like Pokemon that priced out at like $5 to $10. I put those in my dollar boxes. And I think I probably sold a few. So it was a good deal. James says, landed an awesome bulk buy yesterday. Vintage wrestling galore. Ooh, that sounds fun, man. And you don't find, especially vintage, you don't find vintage wrestling in bulk. It's hard to find wrestling in general in bulk. Donald, good morning. Herman's in the house. Good morning. James says, the looks you get when you tell people you sell baseball cards for work is amazing. Yeah, usually the people that don't know me ask what I do. When I say I sell baseball cards, are like, you can make a living doing that? It's like, yeah, some people make a really good living doing it. You'd be surprised. Jody, good morning. James says those 87 Bret Hart Topps cards are selling like crazy. The Hitman Hart rookie card. Yes, sir. Art Green says, then just hundreds of cards of Ripken, Bonds, Nolan Ryan, and other Hall of Famers. Of course, there's some 91 Fleer in there and other non-star base, but plenty of meat on the bone to fill out my store. Love it. Love it. John says, bulk rules. Hell yeah. Love me some bulk. Am I setting up in Rockford? No, I will not be in Rockford. That's next Sunday. I will not be set up in Rockford. The Janesville, the Madison card show is next Saturday, this coming Saturday, I guess now, August 24th. So just being away, being gone all day for that. It's the 200 table show, which is really tiring. So no, I will not be in Rockford next Sunday. I'm so looking forward to September when I scale back. The problem, what's up, Johnny Boy Cards? Good morning. The problem with scaling back to 140 tables is there's going to be some dealers that are going to not be happy because they won't be able to get in to the Madison Card Show effective in September. So that's going to be my headache currently is frickin' trying to herd 200 dealer table cats and setting up 4 rooms and collecting payment, all that bullshit that goes along with it. Now the problem is going to be I don't have space for you, and people are going to be upset, but they're just going to have to deal with it. So basically seniority rules at the Madison Card Show. Nick says, we talked about that. Donald says, we hit that up as well. John says, Garvey is an asshole regardless of one's economic standing. Zach and Porter, we talked about that. John says, Bo hated Vit. Oh, come on, man. I love it. Look at my showcase behind me. You're raising my blood pressure by saying that. The Bo Jackson's a beautiful vintage card. One of my favorite vintage cards is the 1990 score Bo Jackson. John says it's called Hobby Evolution for a reason. Yep, the Bo would have been perfect. For auction, new sweatshirt, or what are you doing asbestos removal today? Zach says, I thought putting bids on items were auto pay now, or maybe that is just offers. I don't have, you can, as a seller, you can opt out of that, which I have, because I don't run auctions. So I don't know if you can opt in on items, like specific items. So store-wide, I have auto pay turned off because if you send me offers on 50 cards and I accept all 50, that comes over as 50 payments, 50 transactions, and 50 times 30 cents. That's $15 in fees that I don't need to pay, $14.70. So that's why I turn auto pay off. So well, yes, it's annoying that there's 3 non-payers. It's a hell of a lot better than all of the transaction fees and just the hassle of having orders split into 50 different transactions. It's a pain in the ass, and it costs you money. John says, Bo arguing with a 10-year-old via proxy has to be the highlight of the internet today. Merle says auctions are the main theme of his new spin-off YouTube show. John says, other than clicking random Rich Klein supplied web links, this has to be the favorite part of my hobby weekend. Zach says, since these auctions haven't been put up yet, there is 53% chance this doesn't happen, so all of this will be for nothing. No, it will happen. It will happen. Receiving a link from Rich is a great way to test your firewall and ability to quickly move funds from one account to another. John says you should have Jeremy Lee do your auction hype. That would be good. He's the best auction hype man. Here's a 1991 Fleer Barry Bonds. No bids yet at 99 cents with free shipping. John says, I've got no thoughts on anything so far, just sarcasm. Dan graduated from high school 30 years ago today. In August? That's really late. Why did graduate in high school in August? That's a weird calendar. I probably was, what was 30 years ago? 30 years ago was 1994. Dan, you're older. I probably knew this. I thought you were a little younger than that. 1994. I was 30 years ago today. I was either, let's look up a calendar. What was August 18th, 1994? 1994 calendar. August 18th was a Thursday. August 18th. So I'm sure I was at school. That would have been 7th grade. I was probably in Mrs. Savage's, rest in peace, English class. Well, at 8:52, no. I was probably in first hour English class. Who knows? Whatever I had first hour in 7th grade. John says, congrats, Dan. Are you having a party? It's the 30th anniversary of his graduation. Zach says, congrats, Dan. I wish I would have met you before you were legal. Dave says, getting ready to eat breakfast with Scooter. What's going on? Tell Scooter I said hello. Mark Twitchell's trying to get me back to Macomb in September, but I just don't think I can make it work. September 14th, I think, is I've got Madison Card Show next weekend. The following weekend, I still need tickets, but it's Pearl Jam at Wrigley. And then who knows what September brings. I hate making plans. I hate unless it's road trips with Cooter or spring training and Cubs convention. Those are the only plans I make. Zach says, speaking of education, has anyone seen LRS lately? We have not. Did he make it back from Fanatics Fest? We have not seen Low Roller Scratcher. It's been a couple days. I haven't sold any hockey, soccer, or Simpsons cards in my eBay store for him to report on. When is the next estate sale? Whose items that you passed on and went for high 4 figures happening? I don't know. Hopefully soon. I've been looking, man. I go to the estate sale websites and I look, but I don't find anything, which is kind of what we're going to talk about today, whether it's estate sales or auctions or not auctions, Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, which, by the way, I forgot about Craigslist. It still exists, and there's still cards for sale on Craigslist. Hidden gem. Maybe. John says, I've sworn off listing for the next few months as I will be setting up at a show. Really? Which show? That's interesting. John says the squeeze is better in discount boxes than eBay is what I'm thinking. Probably. I mean, if you're a casual seller, definitely. I mean, if you're a casual seller, the squeeze is definitely better in bargain boxes or just selling at a card show in general than the hassle of customer service, dealing with stupid messages and offers, but also the shipping. So yeah, I'm a glutton for punishment. So even when this was a side hustle, I was listing a shitload of stuff on eBay as opposed to setting up at card shows. Cause I'm kind of like you, John, which is surprising for you to say this. I'd rather sell on eBay because I don't like people. You have to deal with people at card shows. It's like, and I can do it. Madison Card Show, and I can do like one other show a month as a dealer. Or, well, I don't really deal at Madison anymore. I will, probably starting next month. But it zaps my energy. It like totally zaps my whatever energy, like people energy. And so to do that, like a lot of my dealers do like 2 shows every weekend, all month long. Like that's just too much. I like to just do my own, like I'm turning into my dad. I remember my dad, everything. Oh, we got something going on every weekend. It's like, Dad, you have 3 months. It's summer. You have 3 months to do 12 months worth of stuff. It has to be, this is just, and you're 70 years old. It's been like this for 70 years. Come on. But I'm turning into my dad where it's like, God, I've got the Madison. Here I am. I just 2 minutes ago, I complained about it. I've got the Madison Card Show next weekend. I've got Pearl Jam. I want a free weekend. I don't want to go to Macomb. I want to chill out in my basement. Zach says, I need to dry out a bit so I can cut the grass. Oh, I need it to dry out so I can cut the grass. Frustrating. You know, John Keating and I don't have that problem. We do not have that problem anymore. That was a great decision that my wife made. And I'm sure John says the same thing. A great decision my wife made by hiring somebody to mow the lawn. Great move. Shane, what's going on? I've officially retired from weeding through garbage. Hey, I still weed through garbage. It is sometimes it's fun, but it's overwhelming. Like right now, I'm overwhelmed because I've just got too much shit. So try to downsize and help Shane out. Rich says, card show I went to yesterday was P-Act. P-Act. Man, this show is P-Act. I like that. I think I'm going to start using that. Man, the Madison Card Show is P-Act. Nice hotel, probably too small of a room. That's good. That's good. Well, the small room isn't good, but it's good that it was P-Act and there's room for growth, hopefully. John says the 1982 Topps rookie is not the priciest one. The update rookie is the priciest one. That's not even vintage, and I knew that. Mikey is here. It's been a while since we've seen Mikey in the chat. Why? He spent the past 2 mornings. Oh, yeah. Breakfast with the girlfriend. So haven't turned on live, but I'm here now. Welcome. Welcome back. Uncle Rich says almost all modern. I did better purchasing at Kyle's Investabilia on Friday. Johnny M says best luck with Facebook going after lots in the $300 to $1,000 range. That's my sweet spot. Not a lot of buyers willing to spend that much, and I can get better prices. Absolutely. There's somebody who's had like a $15,000. Now, it's a really nice collection, but it's $15,000, but it's like all vintage. Let's see if I can find it. Where's my marketplace? Local. Oh, I need to change. Come on. Locate me. See if I can find it here real quickly, but it's like, here's $5,400 and it's like, come on. Like that looks like the shelf that I sell for 500. Let's see. Just going through real quick. It was, I saw it on here last night. Like, okay, here's another one. $2,000. The list price on that. Come on. Yeah, I see there's 82 Donruss in there, but I'm sure it's been cherry picked to hell. Let's see. Oh, there's multiple boxes, and it's all junk wax besides the 82 stuff. 88 tops, 91 score. Oh, that's fucking garbage. Come on. Come on. Where's the good one? I mean, it's priced super high, but it's also really high end. Like we're talking binders of 50s and 60s. He's not going to get what he's asking, but there it is. All right. So he's got $14,500 on this. I could bring it up. Maybe I'm logged in on Facebook. I can't figure. I don't remember my password and I don't want to change it. Is it going to let me log in? No, it's not. Of course not. So there's like binders of, there's 65 tops. There's 72, 73 basketball. There's 56 tops, 62 tops, 72 tops, 59 tops, 73, 58, 68, 74, 75 basketball. Let's see. 58. Oh, we said that. Okay. It looks like it's just multiple pictures. There's some boxes. 69, 68, 65, 64, 63, 61, 60. This is all in like one 5-row box. So it's just a bunch of different angles of the same shit. All right. So, massive baseball collection that spans from the 1950s through 1977. About half of the collection is from the 1960s. Hundreds of Hall of Famers and star cards. Also included in this collection are some basketball cards, several hundred from the early 1970s, and several hundred of football cards from the 1970s. However, the majority is baseball. There are approximately 13,000 cards in this collection. I'm looking to sell the entire collection as a whole, or I might be willing to sell the cards by year, but I will not sell the cards individually. Asking $14,500 for the entire collection of approximately 13,000 cards. So right now, that's just no, we're not going to do that. That's over $1 a card. A lot of the stuff is going to be, quarter box stuff in terms of 70s baseball. Even some of the late 60s stuff is just not. So I'm trying to zoom in. There's a 58 Topps Stan Musial All-Star. There's a 68 Rod Carew, 68 Willie Stargell. There's some 55 Bowmans in there also. There's a 76 Nolan Ryan, but I'm not seeing any big hitters. Like the 73 binder is not open to Mike Schmidt. It's open to Steve Stone and Louis Aparicio. Let's see, 59 binder page is open to Don Larson is the biggest name. 62 Topps doesn't have any. I mean, so if you're 70, the Lou Alcindor is pictured on the 72-73, but like that's the biggest. And is that Wilt? I can't tell. No, that's not. I don't think that's Chamberlain. So yeah, that's just non-starter for me. Zach and Porter says, John, correct on the first part. John says, how many cards does Rich Klein possess at this very moment? Zach says, same with Tim Raines. But good to see such a crowd. Guy did Facebook-sponsored ad and IG as his preferred ad method. That's what I've been doing with the Madison Card Show since the early days. Love it. And I've had so many people tell me that they found the show from a Facebook ad. So tells me it's working. So we continue to do so. Kyle says, good morning. I like bulk buys. I will catch the replay later. All righty. Uncle Rich says, at the office, many more than I need. And that's the home of donations. Home, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 cards of inventory. John Keating says, Johnny M's profile pic looks like an air hockey paddle. What the hell is that thing? Let's go back to, well, let's just let him answer. Oh, that's a Mike Trout, man. John says, not talking donations, Rich, your cards. There you go, 2,000 to 3,000. Got it. Johnny M says, I sell enough to get my money back and put the rest in stock till whenever. Currently going through buys from 2000 that haven't been looked at since then. Oh, that would be fun. That would be fun. Zach and Porter want to know, do those sales figure include non-payers? No, that does not. Those sales numbers, how far? Wow, I'm like 20 minutes behind in the chat. Those sales figures is money that hit my bank account. Dan says, I was wrong. I graduated May 24th. No idea why I typed that. I was wondering, like, this is a really weird graduation date, August 18th. May 24th, August 18th. Quite a bit apart. John says, Dan is a fraud. Seems some of those slabbed cards sell better in person. That is a good point. Yes, absolutely. I think some of the stuff like my Dr. J, my Peyton, I think those two cards I could take to the Madison Card Show next week and I'll sell them. I'll sell them faster than what I would on eBay. But consider this. If you have to pay for your table, how much are you paying for your table? And, it depends on how much you sell. If you say you sell $500, and you paid $50, that's 10%. So if your table was $50 and you sold $50 or $500, you paid 10% in fees. And that doesn't take into account you were handcuffed to your table for how many? 8 hours during the day. And then all the other expenses that go with it that you wouldn't have on eBay. So those are some of the things you need to think about that I think about. But I'm also not looking, I think setting up at card shows in a different sense where it's kind of a necessity, networking for buying cards, networking to buy cards, networking with dealers to set up at the Madison Card Show, and all that stuff. And getting out of the house, because I do need to get out of the house from time to time. So if I only sell $100 and I have to pay $50 for the table, if I made some good purchases and made some good connections, it was worth it. John says, how many asterisks do the Jacko stickers have? Is there dots after the INC on the Michael Jackson cards? Orlando is here. Good morning. John says, I'm jacked up on pre-workout powder. Skipping the workout makes me chatty. Merle says last vintage bulk for sale looked like junk era stuff. Only see the tops of the cards in boxes. No pictures of the cards themselves. 91 Fleer Yellow gives it away. Yep. And I just scroll on by. Orlando says he's late to the party. Merle says he figured that you can call it vintage if it's over 20 years old. That's right. I think it's 30. I think it's 30, right? Early 90s vintage. James says, what did that Pokemon lot sell for with the packs? $7,800 was the final plus. So that's what that's what my wife and mother-in-law's friend made, was $7,800, and the buyer paid I think it was a 15% buyer's premium. So the buyer paid $7,800 plus 15% buyer's premium. Card Hobbyist says, morning peoples, just stopping in, gotta go cut some grass. Sounds like a grass cutting day. Zach and Porter, they're waiting for the grass to dry out. Looks like it might rain here in Madison. Vintage isn't junk wax era stuff. You should reach out if you need coaching on the hobby and its terms. Mikey says, I found 2 great bulk deals on Facebook Marketplace for vintage. Dan says, will TCDB be upset with me if I upload a Burley rip card, but the back is ripped? I don't know. John says, my son and wife are watching Prison Break. There's an episode where one of the cons says he is in for stealing a T206 Honus. I went up a few notches with the family. I could only go up anyway, I suppose. Nice. Merle says, I found some vintage that way sells faster than other singles. John says, you sound like a fool when you say vintage. Merle says, when people are calling junk wax era cards vintage, it makes me feel old even if I know it isn't vintage. Johnny M says 1990 counts as vintage. Yeah, the Bo Jackson, my favorite vintage card. John says eBay making it an opt-in leaves room for humans to complain about people not paying. Absolutely. Dan says not for Gen Xers. Rich says mandatory summer school. John says Dan went to summer school. Wait, did the pump work for your auctions last week? I think it did. Uncle Rich says, what did George do that he had to be in summer school? That's Dan. Dan is Korean Cardboard. George is KBO Collections. John says, Rich and I remember when that was an actual thing. Now everyone passes. 30 years ago today, I was at the East Coast National as part of a trip to also see my dad after mom passed. JG says summer school for Dan. No field day medals, no summer school, no detention, unleaded gas. The world is fucked. James says 30 years ago today, you were sitting in class with your Charlotte Hornets jersey. I bet I was. It was probably Orlando Magic. I did have a Charlotte Hornets jacket. It was August, so I probably didn't have my jacket on. But I probably had, did I have a Charlotte Hornets jersey? What was 7th grade? I might have had my Yankadare New Jersey Nets jersey on. Or no, it was 7th grade. I was wearing my Chicago Bears Rashawn Salam jersey. That's what I was wearing in August of 1994. My Rashawn Salam jersey, which I still have to this day. And it still fits because it was so fucking big when I bought it in junior high. Dan says only took summer online classes when at Eastern Illinois University. Orlando says feeling old, graduated from high school 50 years ago. I'm coming up on my 25. I'm halfway there. 25 is next year. JG says Bo giving off Office Space vibes. I'm a people person. John says my only lawn issue is seeing if I can trade my unused mower for vintage refractors. I've thought like, ooh, I can probably sell this and buy some baseball cards with my lawnmower money. Brian says, I'll take some junk wax off your hands. What time should I be over? Hey, I wanted to ask you, when are you going to spring training, Brian? Because I think when you set your dates, I'm like, oh, that's too early. I don't go that early. But now I have to because the Cubs are in Japan. So I'm going March 4th through the 12th. So we might be in Arizona at the same time. Now, if you want to hang out, you have to hang out in Mesa because I don't go anywhere else. I stick around the Cubs facility all day long. But at night, I can meet up at night. Mikey, although I reserve like one night to go out Otherwise, I'm a day guy. Mikey equals baller. Baseball card curmudgeon. Good morning. Join late. Hope all is well. We're doing well. We're doing well. Merle says, how is Mikey going to know she likes him until he knows if she likes this show? There you go. JC3, what's up? Good morning. Listing and shipping and coffee. Here we go. Another day, baby. John says, I just do last 24-hour listing, local pickup. Oh, can you do that? Fuck. Thank you, John. Let me see. All right. So I don't know how to search. I am Facebook Marketplace illiterate. I just go like look, and sometimes I type in cards. All right. So let's go back to my region. Locate me. I'm not in Rockford. Come on, man. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. More. How do you search on Marketplace? I've got sell for you, local, and more, but under more, it's just local pick. I don't even know where the local pickup search is. Settings? Huh. I don't know. I'm going to have a tutorial on how to use Facebook Marketplace. Max in the house. Had to tune in to see how everyone's favorite Michael Rubin shill is doing today. Hey, that's me. Fanatics Fest. Love it. Michael Rubin, my hero. Shout out to Rubes and Fanatics Fest. They blew it out of the water. I can't wait to go to Fanatics Fest. Michael Rubin is a god. Merle says, listing and shipping, no coffee. I've got mushroom coffee this morning. John says, so much shit out there. Zach says, what happened to the person who was broadcasting live from the hindquarters of some ravine wearing his Tops hat? Is he the oil change guy? Oh, I found him. He is still on YouTube. He's not in here. But the oil change guy, he commented on, I think it was Spitballing Cards video. He's still on YouTube and he's still giving shitty advice or shitty opinions. He's still here. Maybe he's lurking. Maybe he still does watch as a lurker. John says, my favorite listings are of closed binders or monster boxes with lids. Repacks, I guess. Zach says, for garage sales, ? John says, tell them to call Ty Wilson. He'll overpay them. Just give a sob story. Give a sob story, and Chasing Cardboard will overpay. Jamie, good morning. Zach says, Rich, why do you work on Sundays? What type of sweatshop is ComC running? John says, I'm not paying for the table as I'm the promoter. Well, there you go. That's how I roll. Just promote the show, get a free table. That's the only reason I'm setting up. Now I get you. Now I got you. Perfect. Excellent. Zach says, John, you may want to check local laws, but I don't think it is legal to set up at a show you are a promoter for. I think that regulation came in under Obama and gave control back to the states. Zach says, Rich thinks all white people living in Korea look the same. Rich says, Yenkadare was the black hole of hoops. If you passed him the ball, it never got it. Got out. Yenkadare. John says you can't say that anymore. Brian's in Arizona, March 6th through the 9th. What did I say? Oh, I'm there all those days, March 4th through the 12th, which I do need to book my hotel. I have enough points to cover my entire trip. Flight is booked. Spring training, baby. Rich says when she sees the money come in, then she will like him. John says I can share my screen. Zach and Porter says, John, I would like to see your screen. Max says, FF looked like the White Party 2.0. Nobody cares. I would go to the Fanatics Fest. I would go to Fanatics Fest. Not in New York City. I don't want to go to something in New York City. I've never been to New York City, so I don't want to go to a convention in New York. I want to be a tourist in New York City first, and then I'll go to a convention there. But I would be interested in going to Fanatics Fest. Did Ty do a sob story about overpaying for cards? No, but if the sellers give a sob story, it seems like they'll bend and they'll pay up. Uncle Rich says, I work on Sundays because I also have mother-in-law duty during the week. And these hours give me the flexibility to be out of the office during the week. There you go. Max says, does sound like something Obama would push through. Rich says, so it's a choice to work Sunday and also frees up my Jewish Sabbath. There you go. Smart to have flexibility. So I want to share an example. I didn't even bring the goddamn thing up. Let's see. Oh, and I went away from my email. All right. So what was the title? What was the topic today? Something about finding deals on Craigslist. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen here once I get. So this was on Craigslist that I found last night. So I'm going to share my screen. I find it weird that the Craigslist, logo is a peace sign. All right, so this is the listing. And it was posted 12 hours ago, so I probably saw it when it first hit Craigslist. A little bit of everything, looking to consolidate. $999. This is located in Rock Falls, Illinois, which is about 2 hours from me. So first, I want to highlight the very first sentence. No dealers PLZ. All right. So do I want to deal with somebody that says that types out PLZ? I don't really know. Probably not. But no dealers PLZ, no dealers please. That's a red flag. That's a red flag right there. It's like, I mean, first of all, what's a dealer? Like, obviously I'm a dealer. I do this full time, so I'm right in. But if I was a weekend warrior, what makes you a dealer? Do you sell on eBay? Do you have to sell a certain amount of items? Is it sales dollars? Can you sell it all? If you sell any card, does that make you a dealer? Does setting up at card shows or not setting up at card shows, like what is a dealer in the minds of somebody like this? That's my first question. So this is a red flag right off the bat. No dealers, please. But I'm curious. It goes on, have hundreds of complete sets from 1983 to 2009 and beyond. About 7 sets in binders, Hall of Fame set builders from the early 80s and late 70s, plenty of patch, auto, and short print, some graded, plenty of new cards from the last few years as well. Have a ton of basketball and football as well. The small box of inserts are no doubt first round Hall of Fame rookies. All right, so let's see if he can put his money where his mouth is. So right off the bat, his highlight picture is 84 tops, 85 tops, 85 and 86 Fleer. Okay, decent. His price tag is $999, which that's typically a placeholder. That's not a real price. So usually when I'm interested, I say, how much are you asking for this collection? That's my first. So I know there's no price attached to this, so I'm curious what he wants for it. I mean, hell, he might only want, well, if he puts $999, I'm assuming he wants more than $1,000, which is already, it's like, no, not going there. So here's a picture. We've got some of the junk. There's some decent like mid 90s sets in here, but like none of this really screams, I want to buy this. Up top, you see 91 Donruss. Like, oh God, all of this just garbage that I don't want. So, but hey, here's the no doubt Hall of Fame rookies. It looks like a bunch of fucking plastic to me. It doesn't even look like there's cards. Maybe there are cards. I can't tell, but all right. So that's a picture of what appears to be empty top loaders. All right. Now I hope I don't have to go down into this basement alone with this guy. We've got 86 Donruss, 86 Fleer, 85, 84 Donruss. That's good. 83 tops. Okay. If these are complete, those are some good sets. And then we go back to the front. All right. So there's enough there that gives me interest. So I sent an email and I did receive a response back. So the response, all right, here's red flag number 2. I'm not looking to sell all. All right. So I'm not interested now. Just looking to sell about 1,000 to 2,000 worth, but money talks. Willing to hear an offer. Are you free tomorrow to come take a look? Is there anything you were looking for? Fave, player, or team? All right. So there's a lot to break down here. And actually, I can share this because it doesn't share anybody's email address. So let's share this screen instead. All right. Can you see? Okay. So here's the email that he sent. So I'm not looking to sell all. There's a red flag because I want to buy it all. Like I don't want to cherry pick this freaking junk. All right. So okay, I'm kind of done after that sentence. But anyway, reading on. Just looking to sell about 1 to 2,000 worth. Now, remember what the pictures looked like. Is there $1,000? Would you buy that for $1,000? No, I wouldn't. Maybe you would. I wouldn't. So just looking to sell about $1,000 to $2,000 worth. So that, and now remember, we can only go based on what the pictures tell us. And he says there's all this other stuff, but I don't see it. He tells us about no doubt Hall of Fame rookies, but he just shows us pictures of empty top loaders. So, I have less than zero interest right now. And he's assuming so based on the second sentence, just looking to sell about $1,000 to $2,000 worth, that leads me to believe he thinks this collection's worth in excess of $2,000, and probably much more than $2,000 based on how he says that. But money talks. It's not talking to you, man. My money is not talking to you. Willing to hear an offer. That's another red flag. That's the third red flag in within 4 sentences. Because you're the seller, you have to set a price, and I'm looking to buy it all. And if you think it's worth more than $2,000, we're already that's what would I pay based on what's pictured and not knowing if they're complete or not. I would be hard pressed to even pay $500. I would not pay $500 for what's there, not knowing that if it's a complete 84 Donruss set, if it's a complete 83, even the 83 Tops doesn't move the needle for me. 84 Donruss does, but those mid 90 sets don't move the needle for me. So, I wouldn't even pay $500 for everything that's pictured there blind. If I saw, if I was there in person, I see, okay, here's the 83 Tops, the Sandberg's there, the Gwyn's there, the Boggs is there, 84 Mattingly's there, 84 Donruss is complete with the Mattingly, 85 has the McGuire. Okay, now we're talking. I'd probably take it all for $500, assuming what is shown is all complete and that's everything. But the red flag, there's so many red flags in this listing. Let's go back to the listing. Share this tab instead. I see this all the time in Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist listings where I wish I could find. There was one on Facebook Marketplace last night that says there's a whole bunch of $50 cards in this collection, and I'm looking at there's 10 pictures. There's not a card that's worth $10 in any of the pictures, but he's promoting it as many $50 cards. You're looking for a sucker. You're trying to rip people off. It's bullshit. So this one, there's a lot of pumping with a bunch of shitty pictures. At the very least, don't show me a box that says 84. There might not even be 84 Donruss in the box. It might be 91 Fleer for all we know. At the very least, take some of the sets that are worth something, 84 Donruss, show the Mattingly, show that they're actually 84 Donruss, show the Sandberg from 83 Tops, show the McGuire from 85, show the fucking small box of inserts that are no doubt first-round Hall of Fame rookies. I think John Keating said, yeah, there's a lot of Hall of Famers that their rookie cards aren't worth shit. Because I can tell you, I've got a list of players I'm pulling and selling for 10 cents each, and there's a lot of rookies, and they're Hall of Famers, and I'm selling them for 10 cents. So, boom, what Orlando said. Look at pictures, not words, because this is a snake oil salesman if I've ever seen one. I'm sorry if you're watching, but you need to do better. Do better on your Craigslist listings. So these are the red flags. I wanted to just this is what instead of just talking about, well, this is what I look for. This is what I don't look for. I wanted to share firsthand experience with a listing that not only did I look at and was interested in potentially, but also reached out and received a response. I appreciate the response, but it's not what I'm looking for. Oh, the guy also, he sent a follow-up email. So I sent that email. He sent a follow-up email after that and said, give me a call when you can. Also have some other items for sale: antiques, World War II gear, Japanese art, a few guns if you have a Foyd card, original LPs of some classic rock bands. Whatever gets me there. Also, furniture, fixtures, 1964 AMF 8-foot pool table with original equipment and catalog. I'm not giving it away, but fair pricing. Def worth the trip. All right. This sounds like somebody that wants to rob me. This sounds like you're walking into an armed robbery situation. So I'm sorry, Mr. Rock Falls. You have a shitty listing, and I want no part in your reindeer games. Where we at? Let's go and talk about the chat. Where we at? John says, I can picture Bo wearing a foam Statue of Liberty foam hat on the top of a double-decker while eating a slice of Ray's Original Pizza. That sounds touristy to me. Grabbing some Sbarro for an authentic New York. Yeah, there you go. John says, now it's your Jewish Sabbath, Rich? ? Zach and Porter says, I sure as shit don't roll. Keating needs to see Lebowski. If you share your screen, we can watch it together. John says, dealers are easy to spot. They usually start any conversation with, I'm in it for. Ask him what net to me is. Right. Zach says, that is how parents start conversations as well until they're adults. Ask him if you can get a discount if you supply a tax-exempt cert. Other than the binder spines, did you see any actual cards? Nope. Shit, there might not even be 91 Fleer in there. There might be empty. It just looks like a bunch of old boxes to me. Are you actually selling cards? That might not even be his cards. He wants $2,000. He knows, well, I'm going to take you down to my basement. This doesn't look like the pictures. Oh, no, I stole those on the internet. Give me your $2,000. Mikey says, I have another round of auctions going right now. I like the sales and the moving of stagnant inventory. There you go. That's why I've kind of I've evolved and I'm running some auctions. Zach says, yesterday, Bo reviews a video of someone who attended a sports enthusiast show. Today, Bo is walking us through a Craigslist listing. I love this show. Right, yeah. Max says, sounds like a tire kicker, but yes, absolutely. I want to sell you this, but I want to know how much you'll pay. I'm not going to pay you anything, man. Junk Wax Hall of Famers, not a value. Correct. There's a whole bunch of Junk Wax era Hall of Famers that aren't worth the paper they printed on. Zach says, I don't think it's legal to share someone's email without their consent. Ashcroft rolled that into Homeland Security due to high threat level alerts on Cryon. There was no email was shared. He did give me his phone number on the second email, but I did not share the screen on that. So no email was shared. John stepped back on that comment. Value to the owner is high. You were talking about value and money if they are the same thing. Orlando says scammers on Craigslist. This sounds like a recipe for a scamming disaster. John says Craigslist users, what else are we expecting? I'm sure he lives in a Ramada Inn. Zach met his wife on Craigslist. There you go. Missed connections. Orlando says I look at pictures, not words. Amen. Johnny M says I always ask them to send pics of 2 to 3 $50 cards. Never hear back, right? Because there are none. Zach wants to know, does Craigslist have a limit on picture uploads? If not, they should be showing more. I think there is, but it's not 4. I think you can list up to, I don't know, 24 maybe. I can't remember. But if there is a limit for pictures, it's certainly more than he posted. It's a lot more than 4. What's up, Spam Likely? It appears you finally found me. Zach and Porter says, Orlando, that is the most patriotic thing I've seen in this chat. Orlando laughs. Max says, this is the portion of the program on how not to find good bulk buys. Correct. Yes. Do not buy stuff that do not buy from listings that look like this. Merle says, give me your money and rub this lotion on. Yeah. Business travelers know Craigslist is only good for one thing, too, if you have a little extra cash. John says your eBay is a $50 card. Right. Well, eBay, this is selling for $25,000. No, it's listed for $25,000. Max says, I know the second one, John. What's the first? That's what I was wondering. It's like, oh yeah, I know what you mean. And then when he got to the extra cash, wait, what's the first then? What's the free part? All right. So that's what I had for today. So don't buy from listings that look like that. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. 50% off sale. Threesomes, he says. 50% off sale runs through tonight at 99centcards.com. Buy 10 or more items listed under $20, and you'll save 50% at checkout using coupon code end of summer 50, end of summer 50. So that sale runs through the rest of today into tonight, ends at 1:30 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning, in fact. So hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com, and I did list over 200 items that are eligible for that 50% off sale. So check that out. Some of those fan favorites from Topps 2003. Zach says, if I learned anything today, Craigslist is as accurate as Dan's graduation date. Right. Dan's trying to tell us he graduated in the middle of August, and Craigslist listings suck. Zach says, I'm better than on AI summary or events. Like, subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central-ish. We're on puppy time. Ernie's been waking up early. I think wife's taking him out for round 2. Ernie got up with me at 6 a.m. this morning. He pottied. He pooped. He ate breakfast. We played. He went back to bed. And here I am. John says, in all fairness, Korea doesn't use the Gregorian calendar. Is that true? Maybe it is a calendar thing. Alrighty. Like, subscribe, eBay store, 99centcards.com. Saturday, coming up this Saturday is, Bronco said I skipped his LRS troll comment. Madison Card Show. Come out and see Bronco. Come out and see Max. Saturday, August 24th, this coming Saturday. Sheraton Hotel on John Dolan Drive. I don't think I saw your troll comment. Did you post it from Twitter? That could be why. We are live streaming on Twitter, so shout out to Twitter. Oh, I missed Jamie's comment. Hi, Jamie. I don't know if I said I saw that earlier. Where else? I don't see Bronco's comment. So if you are watching via Twitter, yeah, I didn't see it. Max didn't see it either. All right. So yeah, if you are listening from Twitter and you commented and I didn't see it, I can't see it. So that could be the reason why. All right. Like and subscribe. If you're on Twitter, go to YouTube and like the video. Like, subscribe, visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. We will do this again tomorrow morning, 7-ish, whatever time, Central Time, whenever Ernie decides to calm down after his morning poop, then we'll go live. All right. Have a great Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow.